This place makes me feel like a hero. Although Ernie put himself out there more than most writers, his story wasn't all that different from many other customers, mostly men, I'd interviewed at 30 Harley dealerships across the U.S. Listening to their heartfelt stories about how much Harley means to them made me realize the problem they were trying to solve at the dealerships wasn't about transportation, recreation, or even status. The purchase they sought to acquire was the end of loneliness for, as Ernie and I joked, midlife crisis males fading in strength. While Ernie and others could easily buy an imported bike super cheap, those bikes didn't come with thousands of diehard friends around the world that would give the shirt off their back if you were ever in a jam, and I couldn't help but calculate how much comfort that fellowship and bond must have been worth. But it's not just the Ernies of the world who want to find an end to loneliness, a sense of belonging, and a place to call their own. So many of the audiences I interview in my line of work feel more isolated, dislocated, and displaced in this modern age of digital replacements. As Scott Galloway, a clinical professor of marketing at NYU Stern School of Business, said in a May 2023 interview with the Wall Street Journal, most of the technologies we're coming up with, or a lot of them, are pouring fuel on this flame of loneliness, where we're finding a reasonable facsimile of a relationship. Social media creates this illusion that you have a lot of friends, but you don't experience friendship. I've spent a lot of my life trying to bring people together through the timeless interactions and primal qualities of place. Being an architect for me isn't about creating beautiful objects for the wealthy or designing twisted geometric design pretzels for the cultural elite. It's about making people from all walks of life feel beautiful, valued, and important in a world that doesn't always see them that way. But I see these folks every day because my job is to make the everyday places of our lives extraordinary. The meaning of convening. When people learn I'm an architect, I can see the excitement in their eyes as they relay something they read about Frank Lloyd Wright or saw regarding Frank Gehry or the late Zaha Hadid. And the next question they inevitably ask me is, what kind of projects do you design? They hope I'll say mega-tall skyscrapers, modern museums, or vacation homes in Aspen. But when I tell them I mostly design grocery stores, convenience stores, pet stores, gyms, restaurants, bars, and the like, I can see their initial letdown before their eventual curiosity rises about how these places function, and they share their personal opinions about what's wrong with them. Suffice it to say, I get a lot of suggestions. Standing around for weeks on end watching people look at Harleys may not be for everyone, and it created an awkward moment when I first met my wife and told her how I spend my days in disguise as a customer. But it's what I do. I'm the guy who pulls up a lawn chair in a parking lot to watch people walk in and out of a steak buffet chain, and I'm the guy who studies consumers buying Fig Newtons in the cookie and cracker aisles of a grocery store. It's an odd job. My passion, though, is watching people go about their typical days in coffee shops, retail stores, or institutional facilities and noticing when they feel pleased or frustrated by their environments. But I'm not just a watcher. I'm also a fixer, adjuster, tinkerer, rethinker, and experience designer. This fixation with watching people and tinkering with the atmospherics of everyday environments has been with me for as long as I can remember. As a kid, I was unusually observant. I could tell by the way someone walked into a room, where they stood, and how they sat, whether they felt comfortable with their surroundings. I'd studied lines at the post office, workers eating lunch in break rooms, and customers picking up prescriptions at the drugstore. I couldn't help but imagine how to make those situations more enjoyable before going home to draw design solutions at the kitchen table. Despite my parents questioning this eccentric behavior, I used our family home as a daily test lab. I was constantly turning light levels down, music dials up, and rearranging furniture to see how it impacted my family's mood and quality of interactions. And when I got bored with our family room, I moved on to my teachers' classrooms and friends' bedrooms. But eventually I had to find a bigger playing field to feed my appetite for improving the quality of places. Hence, I became an architect. In 1992, I co-founded a strategic design firm with my good friend and lifelong mentor, Terry Shook. While the two of us came from different places and were at different career stages, I'd never met anyone who cared as much about developing healthy,